This video is brought to you by Longoni Cues.
Have you ever experienced this? You're on a nice opening shot on the one ball. In your mind's eye, you already know you have to pass these two balls here to get a nice shot on the two, or stay above them for a great shot and a chance to run out. However, you're lining it up, you don't have enough knowledge where to hit this cue ball, and this is what happens. Or you're trying to open up this 3-8 in a nice game of 9 ball. You want to give yourself a chance to run out, but again, you're lacking a bit of knowledge. Your tip position is slightly off. You don't even hit these two balls, and now you have to kick and you're in deep trouble. Hi pool players, it's the Terminator. Welcome back to another episode of Terminator Tips. In this episode, I have a great drill for you, rock around the clock. We're gonna work on your cue ball direction, your tip position, gaining new knowledge so you can do more with the cue ball and run more reps. Let's hop onto my Pro Start table and show you how this works. Here we go, pool fans. This is the drill, rock around the clock. Pretty much you can set up any type of shot where you can hit almost all the diamonds on the table. For this example here, I've chosen to set the one ball up first diamond, so I can hit many diamonds along the rails. There's going to be 3 more here in the end. You can also choose perhaps to set up the cue ball, for example here, like in the example from the intro. That gives you a lot of options to hit a lot of diamonds, but we're going to focus on this one for now. This is a ton of fun to do with a partner also. I've done this again with Mark Bijsterbos, my World Cup of Pool partner. Like who gets to the end first, make a small side bet if you like. It's great fun. The goal of the drill, as you could guess, is to pocket the one and make contact with the object ball on the diamond. Then you continue on to the next diamond all the way up here, and then finally these last 3 here. I need some more balls for that. If you hit it, you continue, and if you miss your shot and don't hit the object ball, then it's your opponent's turn. So you're gonna really learn to maneuver around the cue ball. You have to vary around with certain stun shots with a little extra spin, then maybe go lower into the cue ball here, for example, to hit this 8 ball, and then we have to bring it back up again for these shots along the rail. It's going to continue on with top spin, and then we have to just keep varying around. It's great practice. It's going to give you a lot of knowledge for the direction. The shot is pretty easy, but we're all focused now on the cue ball's direction. Let's have a go at this. This first shot here, immediately out of the gate, is just a flat stun shot. If we put a ghost ball here at the aiming point where we have to pocket the ball, let me check that. And then look at the tangent line. That's the 90-degree line where the cue ball is going to go. This would be the contact. 90 degrees is the cue ball's traveling path with a stun shot. That's going to bring me straight to the 5. So that's right out of the gate. Good knowledge for the first shot. Don't need any spin. And that gets you off and running. Second shot here, to hit the 3, we have to go immediately lower into the cue ball, or we're not going to get there. I also use a little bit of left English in case I touch the rail just before the 3. Then the left spin is going to help me to lengthen it out and even make contact that way. So low left. See, that left spin there helps me to hit it rail first. That counts. We continue. Third shot to contact this 8. Just a nice draw shot. It's got to be fairly soft or the cue ball is going to get away from you. Also no spin this time, and if you have to, try to cheat the pocket slightly to the left side of that corner so you get even more great direction to contact the 8. So just 6 o'clock this time. If it were a clock, nice smooth draw. Barely hit it, but it counts. Shot number 4, low left, not too hard or you're gonna draw too much to the corner. If it was a clock, rock around the clock, remember, 7 o'clock. Hit it nice and smooth. Like that. This fifth shot's a bit deceiving. You think you need a lot of spin to get there, left spin. Just very little English needed. Stun with one tip of spin should do the trick. Here to hit this 10 ball, a flat stun shot without any spin, firmer hit can still get you to the 10 in case you want to break out a ball. When you want to touch that diamond just for the directional purposes to get the cue ball down table to an area, then we're going to go higher in the cue ball. 10 o'clock is my suggestion. Nice, smooth hit. And then to bring the cue ball up slightly higher to touch this 9, one tip of spin, so 11 o'clock will do the trick. So if 2 tips of spin, 10 o'clock brings us here, 1 tip brings us here, then 12 o'clock in the cue ball should bring us here. Like that. Now this one's interesting because it's almost the same line from here to here. I think it's just speed reduction. So it's still 12 o'clock, but just a bit softer. There, that was my second try on that shot. I had to really cheat it somewhat to the right to open up this angle, so that's a good tip. This next one is really sneaky because that softer spin got us here. Now we have to get even further. Putting inside spin on it is gonna grab really intensely and it's gonna bring us too close to the 12. So how are we gonna get to this 4 ball? Once again, just cheating the pocket heavily this time with a 12 o'clock hit is gonna do the trick. Watch the speed, don't hit it too hard. There, a really thin hit. I needed a bunch of tries on that one. This one's tricky. Your brain wants to just shoot it into the opening, but you're gonna get too far up the rail. You have to pocket it on the thin side, otherwise you will never get here. Let's move on. So that was about the maximum we could do with that 12 o'clock, get to this rail. Now it's time to add just 1 tip of right spin. 1 o'clock to open it up, not too hard, to pocket this 11. Finally, needed a bunch of tries again. This is humbling, this practice. You think you're the champ and you can't hit this ball that's right here or right here, you're gonna have a tough time on it. Stick with it. Let's move on to this 12 ball. If you're enjoying this content, please give it a thumbs up so YouTube can spread this video out to more players just like you. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any future uploads. And donations are also highly appreciated. So this is an extension of the 12 o'clock we had here with medium speed. This should touch this rail and continue on to hit this 12. Second try, bit risky there. Needed some extra spin to bring the cue ball more here instead of here. That's what happened on the first take. Hit the 12. Good knowledge there by extending the same point we had earlier on to bring you to this one. Let's see if we can do that again on the 2. This 2 ball is very sneaky. We have to hit this at 11 o'clock. We need a bit of pace, otherwise we're not gonna get there, and we have to really flirt with this side pocket. We have to hit the rail right here and then lengthen it out to make contact here. Not easy. Let's see if we can do it. There, that was better. Again, needed a couple of tries. See how close I have to get to this side. I have to take risks. You can't hit it too hard because then the cue ball is going to come here and pass that ball. Very tricky. If you're playing on a very bouncy table, this one won't work. Then a good alternative is to draw it 1, 2, and then 3 to this zone and touch the ball. That can work really good. This table is still sliding nicely. The balls are very clean, so I can't demonstrate that one. I tried a bunch of times. It just keeps sliding long to this rail here. But keep that one in mind also. Let's move on. Let's use the knowledge again we just gained. 1 tip of spin got us here. So 2 tips of spin should bring us here. 10 o'clock on the cue ball. There it comes. Nice 10 o'clock hit. Gotta take care of that tip position or you're coming short. That way, now you're gonna hit it nice on the nose. And then if we move even lower onto the cue ball, more to the side, there's even more meat there that we can use, more added spin, and that's gonna bring the cue ball more into that direction and closer to this cue ball. So I would say 9 o'clock, just 1 tip higher, but really to the outside of the cue ball for maximum spin. There it comes. Boom. And if 2 tips of spin brought us here, if we extend that line, we're gonna hit that 3. So once again, 2 tips, 10 o'clock. Nice speed, because we have to hit 4 rails here. That's pretty good. Almost at the finish line, last 2, again reducing the speed back to 11 o'clock. Remember when we just almost scratched, we were coming here. And if we extend that, we're gonna come to this second diamond. Tough to hit, but I think that's the biggest chance to do it. Nicely done, first try, very tough, you gotta take risk here. The good thing is the spin is gonna evaporate near the end and that's gonna bring this ball more naturally to that second diamond. Last shot, let's go. This last one is tough. Again, depending on your table, how humid or fast it is, you have 2 options. First one, 12 o'clock, lengthening it out, bringing it here. And the second one, draw it really deep to that corner and that way to the third diamond. Let's see. Come on now. Ooh. Third try. This one's tough. Let's try the other one. Nice low ball with left spin, 7 o'clock. Make sure you go very deep towards that diamond, otherwise you're not gonna get there. And not too hard. That should be it. Woo! Nice little workout here. You're gonna have trouble with this. This is great fun to do with a partner, like I said. Very deliberate, intentional practice to learn about lines, the cue ball position, your stroke. Have a go with this, you're gonna love it. There you go, pool fans. Like I said, this is great fun. I hope you learned a ton. Now it's your turn. Get to the pool table, set up this drill, and have some fun with it. Don't forget to check out all the other videos on the channel. There's tips and lessons here uploaded all the time. And remember, if you're finally ready to work on the mental side of your game, head over to the Terminator College. Join those hundreds that are studying there right now. See you in the next episode.